Hello and welcome back to What the Frick podcast. If you cannot tell by the shirt I am wearing, it is the NFL logo that says Taylor's version on it. So obviously, we all just saw that the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl back to back. Once again, they just cannot lose. But we're not really here to talk about that. We are here to discuss the Taylor Swift effect. And like I said before, I will always find a way to bring her up on this podcast. She is an idol, a legend, a superstar. Honestly, I am not really sure how to even start this. I just know that the Taylor Swift effect has really taken a place. And a lot of people, and by people, I mean the annoying men that can't really seem to get it together, are upset that she's shown for what's less than even 60 seconds of an entire football game. But just because she's being shown, it's like she's ruining the sport, she's ruining it for them. And I'm sorry that your fragile masculinity cannot handle seeing not only just a very overall famous woman, but a role model, someone that brings a lot of joy to a lot of people. It's not like she's this washed up celebrity that, fell off the wagon and did drugs, got into alcohol. She's someone that's grown up in the spotlight from like the age of 13 to now 34 without really having any major issues that so many young Disney or Nickelodeon stars hit. She's been able to stay out of that light and really stay true to herself and really just focus on her music while, like she says, I'm sorry you're upset with me that I make my living. I am who I am based off of the life experiences that I've dealt with, and I'm just able to write things that people relate to. So for her to just be who she is, it's like, why are these men so upset? Because she's a pretty blonde woman who has a ton of money and is more successful than they'll ever be? Probably. But in the end, I think she's doing a really good job of just not really caring whatsoever. And she's just there to support her boyfriend. And a couple episodes ago, I had a debate with somebody about this being a PR stunt and saying how she would never do something like that for PR. It's just not in her nature. It's not who she is. And she just doesn't have the time for it. And I think the fact that she has gone to so many of Travis Kelce's games and, he's obviously flown out to her and during her international tour, it's like, this is not a PR stunt, people. This is serious. And for her to have been in Tokyo for 4 nights playing back to back, and then she flies back to America, with the time change, with being exhausted, goes to this game, and she's on her way in a day or two, or maybe even already, to Australia to continue this international tour she has in front of her. So to say this is a PR stunt is it's actually insane to me, because it's like, who has the time to make this a PR stunt, It is great PR, like the NFL's loving it. Swifties aren't really getting much out of it other than we get to see a lot more content of her because they are showing her at these games, but we're not really getting anything out of it other than seeing her. The NFL is profiting way more off of this relationship, and it's not something she's going to do because she wants money or she wants fame. She has that. But to go into further detail on this, it's just funny. It's like, the amount of, my dad always says to me, it's like, you need to relax. Like, you have an obsession with this woman. And it's like, you know what? I do, and who cares? Like, I get happiness, I get joy, I get entertainment off of this woman's life. And seeing her dance in a Vegas club at 2 a.m. with her hot boyfriend, singing along to one of her own songs while she's happy and carefree and drunk, like, I'm sorry. Yeah, I do want to see that. That's the content I want to see. And it's actually kind of sad because now that football is over, we probably won't be getting as many of these candid moments between the two of them, because a lot of it was coming from her being at his games and stuff like that. And now that it's just her going on tour, we're probably only going to be getting content of her that other Swifties are filming, like her on stage or her behind the scenes. She did just post ever for like the first time in years a personal video to her TikTok account of her, Travis, and her parents in a Vegas nightclub with like a funny caption. And for her, it's a big deal because she does not post anything usually to her socials unless it's like music related. So for her to be engaging with us in this manner again is a pretty big deal. And as again, another way of saying that this is not a PR stunt. Like, she would not just be posting a man to her socials if she was not fully in it with him. So I actually do think that they are Endgame, and by Endgame, I don't mean the Marvel movie. I mean the Taylor Swift song Endgame, and I do think that they will get married, and it's giving David and Victoria Beckham, hopefully with no cheating scandals to come in the future, but it really is like a modern day story of them with, you know, the pop star and the athlete, except, you know, I feel like I do think Taylor Swift's a bit bigger than, you know, the Spice Girls were, but it's going to be cool if they do end up staying together and they do end up going down this road of marriage and family, and for us to kind of be living in this moment and see it all unfold in real time is really cool. And you best believe that if they are end up getting married, that there will be many documentaries made around them. And I was thinking to myself, it'd be hard to get like Taylor Swift really to sit down and do this, because I don't think she's ever going to fully retire from music. Yeah, she might stop touring one day, but this woman's never going to stop making music. It comes out of her like lava. Like, she literally can't stop. She can't rest. She can't do anything. So I think with Travis Kelce being the personality he is, and when he does one day retire, he's going to be like a big personality in terms of just being in commercials, and he'll be one of those guys sitting in the broadcast, you know, talking about the game and stuff. So I do see him kind of, you know, going the route of David Beckham, just still being very into sports, even though he's not playing. So he's someone who I could definitely see sitting down one day and doing like full tell-all interviews into his life from, you know, the start of it, going into football, and then eventually, you know, meeting Taylor and having this whirlwind type of rom-com romance. So I'm excited, and I think if this ends up ending for whatever reason, we're all going to be severely depressed. So obviously whatever's best for them is best for them, but right now, seeing how happy they are, seeing the things that they do for each other, it's nice to see, especially for someone that has grown up with Taylor. I think when she started, I was like 9 years old maybe. So yeah, I think that's about right. So I've really been there from the start, and seeing, you know, album after album come out, and seeing how she really just takes hold of things. And, you know, I was there when, you know, the Joe Jonas thing happened. I was there when the John Mayer thing happened, when the Jake Gyllenhaal thing happened. So seeing her go through these life phases, and now being with someone who really feels like they truly get her and they're truly okay with the fame that comes with her. It's like, she can't just go do a normal thing. You know, it was crazy to see her in a Vegas nightclub that I've been in so many times. It's like, how is she doing this? But she is fully surrounded by bodyguards because she has to. But she lives her life in a way where she's like, yeah, you know, they're right next to me while I'm dancing and kissing my boyfriend. But if she wasn't, you know, separating them, she wouldn't have any fun. And yeah, it might be awkward, like, oh, there's just this like ex-military guy who's my bodyguard who's like kind of watching me, you know, dance and make out. But if she didn't have that carefree mindset, like I said, she wouldn't be having any fun. So it's a testament to the both of them that they're able to kind of look past what comes with being with her, and for her being her, that she can still live her life and have fun in this way. And I think it's like major props to her that she's not like, oh, I can't go do that, you know, it won't be any fun. It's like, she's still gonna go out and live her life. She brought her parents, she brought her friends to the Super Bowl. Like, she was fully living it just like any other wife or girlfriend of these players. And yes, she does have bodyguards, but it's not stopping her. And I think that's a really good thing that she's showing. And it's nice to see, you know, it's like we haven't seen her in this way so publicly in so long, and for her to really like let down her hair and have a good time. It's just nice to see. I'm getting sad because it's like I'm not sure what else I'll be able to bring Taylor up in these podcasts. It's like I don't have any more of her shows planned to go to. She's obviously starting her international tour, and I don't have tickets for that right now. And yeah, it's like things for her. Oh my gosh, okay, when her new album comes out in April, I will have things to say about that. So we got a little while away till that happens. I think the other major thing people were saying about them is that they are such a power couple. And it's like the Sunday before the Super Bowl, she was at the Grammys and she won 2 Grammys, and she broke the record for artist to win the most Album of the Year awards. And that's insane. So she went and she did that, and then 1 week later exactly, he goes and he wins the Super Bowl. So it just feels like it's a fairy tale, like it's a modern day fairy tale. Even if the Chiefs hadn't have won, yeah, it would have been like, okay, that sucks, whatever. But it's still pretty awesome. And I was saying this to somebody else that I don't think she would have just dated any athlete. Like the fact that he made it very well known that he wanted to meet her, he wanted to talk to her, and then they actually did. Like, I don't think any random NFL rookie could have been like, oh, I want to talk to Taylor Swift, and she would have taken that seriously. I think it did have a lot to do with the nature of him being a very well-known player, him being attractive, you know, within her age range. They were born in the same year, and yeah, like I don't think she would have gone for any random person. So I think it did have a lot to do with who he was. And it's funny too, because they seem so opposite. Like he's just such a loud, funny, outgoing guy, and she's this like, she's loud and funny too, but she also has this side of her that we see as her fans, where she's very majestic and poetic and just writes things that sound like Shakespeare. So I think they're actually a very good balance for each other. But yeah, no, I do think this is like a crazy thing to witness, and it is very rom-com-y, and people are comparing it to High School Musical with, you know, the singer and the athlete, which is funny. I wonder if she sees all this stuff and just laughs. I know I would. But it's a fun thing to follow, and for anyone that hates on it, it's like, do you have nothing better to do than hate on this? I can see how the hysteria of Taylor Swift can be annoying to some people. Like if you're like my father, who has to hear about it every single day. But even he's like, okay, we get it. But, you know, they're not being rude about it. They're not being hateful about it. It's like, this is a person that has been bringing me joy for over 15 years now, who I can now see living a truly happy life with someone who I hope goes all the way and that they really are endgame. And I don't know, I'm happy for her. I feel like I know her like she's a friend of mine, which I know is a little delusional and crazy to say, but she really does feel like someone I've known a long time, and that if I was in a room with her, I could, you know, have a real conversation with her about more than just, oh, I'm a huge fan. It's like she gives us this feeling of we grew up with her, like we know her. So it's just nice to see, and I can't wait for their documentary to come out one day. Be cool to be the person to film it. Whoever that is will have major bragging rights. But I wish all the luck to Taylor and Travis, and I'm excited to see when he'll be joining her on tour, because he was saying he was going to join her for part of the tour. I know the Chiefs are going to have their parade sometime this week, so I'm not sure if he'll make it to Australia with her, but I'm fully expecting this man to show up for her, because he needs to be there. And I'm going to end it with the other thing that people may not know. The Taylor Swift's favorite number is 13. And so it was just kind of coded into the universe that the Chiefs were going to win this game. I actually went in knowing 100%, like, yeah, you can just bet on them, they're going to win. But regardless, it was like, this was her 13th game she attended for him. They won it off the 13-yard line for that final touchdown. The 49ers, 4 plus 9 is 13. Brock Purdy's number is 13. There were a couple other things that were very 13 oriented. The day, it was like February 11th or whatever. Like the date of the game added up to 13, like 2 and 11. So many things were just coded for her, and that's why I never had a doubt that she was going to win this game, that the Chiefs were going to win this game. And it is a little bit of witchcraft and craziness, but it's like truly how her mind thinks, like how numbers impact her. And she actually has a speech online, if you look it up, about how the number 13 has really impacted her in her career. So a fun little tidbit to throw in there. But to end it here, another Taylor Swift themed episode. Woo, we love it. But thank you guys for listening. I have some fun stuff planned coming up. And check back in around April 19th for a full review. It's going to be amazing. A full overview of the Tortured Poets Department by Taylor Swift coming out. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.